my ducks are pretty mom and daddy. Hello, BookTube. I thought I'd do a little check-in. Overcast, dreary day. We did get out yesterday, start breaking up the soil for a garden. We did the front of the house also, where there's a flower garden for my wife. And then this morning, me and my two oldest and my wife went out and made a little patio area with pavers where some water's coming down and we don't want any damage to the ground. So we try to keep busy by going outside a little bit. Obviously we are in isolation, I guess is the way you'd say it, like most everybody else in the country, in big parts of the world. And the trick is to keep yourself busy, right? And if you're not busy, at least relaxed and not focused on only bad news and all that. Getting a little better at not being constantly on the news feed on my phone or my computer. I am able to work remotely for the most part. Been up in our digital offerings, been reformatting how we have our trustees meetings and how we do go-to-meeting and how we get work done. So there's plenty of work. There's never any shortage of that. But the work has shifted its nature at the library. So, but I have gotten some reading done. It's been a slog, not because of the books, but because of my own mental state. And I'm about, I don't know, halfway on this James P. Blaylock, The Aylesford Skull, A Tale of Langdon St. Ives. I put it down and picked it up a couple times. I like it. It's Victorian era. It's got some supernatural. It's got invention, all the steampunk elements. The characters are good. The story's fairly fast-paced. Doesn't get bogged down, at least thus far. So yeah, I'm back into it, and I'm enjoying it very much. And then I had on my shelf, I hadn't gotten to, one of my favorite subjects is the American Revolution. This is Rick Atkinson, and this is the first in a trilogy called The British Are Coming. The trilogy is The War for America. I guess he's calling it the Revolution trilogy. So it's The British Are Coming, The War for America, Lexington to Princeton, 1775 to 1777. This is a fairly new book. End papers have the maps. It is Henry Holton Company, New York, and it's 2019. I am enjoying it. Rather decent selection of images too, and it's going over old ground. I do think he tends to, I don't know, he'll have big set pieces, but sometimes I think the details maybe get lost, and the details are fascinating. So he'll be doing a battle that I've studied for my whole life, and I'll say, well, I'm not quite sure why he didn't mention this, but if you weren't a person who reads this stuff all the time like myself, I think it's wonderful. It's wonderful anyway. I'm being nitpicky. But I'm enjoying it. And again, what am I on page? See, I'm just going back to Boston here. It's January to February 1776, the Siege of Boston, and then Knox. You'll see there his route. It's where he took the cannon from Ticonderoga, and they are going to have a big impact here. He had a wonderful battle scene down in the Great Bridge and the burning of Norfolk. Wonderful maps in this book that are very helpful. It's a really rough violent scenes, pretty grotesque. And his handling for the most part. So like he'll talk about Arnold's march to Quebec, which is one of the most epic military marches in the history of the world, under horrific conditions through the Maine woods. And a lot of folks didn't make it. And you know, you cover that, he sort of says that and goes through that, but there's not enough detail. And maybe with this kind of volume you can't. You know, you're telling an overarching story, and if you want that story in more detail, you find it elsewhere. But for me, that's the only thing that catches me a little bit when I'm, you know, I'll just be knocked back a little bit like, yeah, it is, so let's talk about it. So then getting away from the bigger books, the sad thing is my local comic shop, which I love. They have wonderful, wonderful staff. They always treat us well. I have a pull list, so my comics are usually ready. Of course, I can't go there now. It's Newberry Comics, and it's over in West Lebanon, New Hampshire. Just a wonderful group over there. And so let me make sure I got a few of these lying around. So I have two that I've been working on. I have this one here is a Batman Giant. It has 5 stories in it. You see right there. And I just pick this up every once in a while. I'm about to start on a Steve Orlando and Tom Mandrake story here, Unstoppable. Oh, I'll give you a feel for what it's like. Great art, huh? Like that. A lot of action. So there you go. You actually have a vehicle around here that we'll see on the interstate every once in a while. That is it's a real van, and it's decked out like that. The other one here I have is Savage Avengers, Chapter 0. The cover is by Greg Smallwood. And here, let me get to what I'm going to talk about here. There's a nice little opener. So, this is what it looks like. I've been reading the Savage Avengers series and really, really liking it. This is sort of throwback to some of the backstory. Has the Age Undreamed Of, starring the Uncanny X-Men. And the writer, it's John Romita Jr. and Dan Green are the artists. But the writer is Chris Claremont. And he drives me nuts. Look at the dialogue. Yes, look at this. And it's page after page after page of that. Look at this page. Look how much. And then it drove me nuts. And that's his thing, though. Got Conan 1 and 2, The Battle for the Serpent Crown. I get all the Conans. Or I did until all this happened. Here's 1 and 2. I haven't read this series. Who does this? This is oh boy. Okay, the writer is Saladin Ahmed, and the artist is Luke Ross. So I haven't read this. Looks pretty solid. And like the second one's the same way. Yeah, Ahmed and Ross. And compare how much dialogue's on those pages with that Chris Claremont we just saw. A little wacky. Moving away from the comic books. Don't want to depress anybody here, but New York Review of Books, April 23rd, 2020. But I look at all the ads for the books. I go through and I pick out a few articles. So here's Yale University Press ads. I have not really read much of this yet. So here's The Life of Barnum by Robert Wilson. It's a review by Nathaniel Rich. Then with that one, I've also got a fairly new 2nd April, London Review of Books that I'll go through. And again, for the same reason, I'll like who we have here, Princeton, with their new titles, and then various reviews. Then to wrap it all up, actually not wrap it up, just sometime today, I like to get, and now I'm doing more, is get to an LP, a long playing vinyl record. Today I'm going to listen to some Julian Bream concertos for guitar and lute, Villalobos, Malcolm Arnold, Richard Rodney Bennett, Giuliano, Rodrigo, Vivaldi. So I've had this one for a while, and I haven't listened to it in a while. It's a box set. I love this, so let me pop this out for you. These are the old advertisements that would be Van Cliburn. Then you would have these advertisements. So, yeah, we get some good stuff on here. You can tell who was popular at the time. So just some RCA Red Seal, lute and guitar music. Julian Bream was wonderful. So here we go, 1975. So it will sound good on the record player and be a nice bit of a change. So I hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody's trying to focus on things, their safety, but also on some other things. You know, fill in your days, and don't feel like you have to do every self-improvement project or fill your day up. If you want to lounge and take in some sun through the window, enjoy it. Have some relaxed time. Don't, there's enough stress right now. So again, hope everyone's well. I know that we will be doing a live stream. I'm not sure when, because of course all these people involved in the live stream have families and jobs and things that have gotten a bit complex. But that's for the Princess of Mars, the Marsathon. There's a bunch of us involved in that. We will get to it. We've been talking back and forth. We just got to make sure it works out for everybody. So we have that to look forward to. So again, thank you, BookTube. Be safe. Be well.